Why are you saying going live? Okay, yeah, that's better. Alright. Get you up and running. And we'll bring that up here. Come on. Oh, hello, Aaron Mars. How's things sound over there? I'm going to bring this up a little bit. Come on. Yeah, I need to be able to get my arm in there. And we'll move this up too if we can. No, you stay where you were. There's that, there's that. Okay. Let's make sure everything is set. Dismiss. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I got room to move. See top, you can see front. Okay. What are you doing? No. Alright, well, I think to get started today, we got another minute just to keep it. Oh, I wonder if I do this too. I'm going to record this. I don't know where it's going to record to. I haven't actually. And yes. Oh, these aren't great choices. And file name formatting. I'm still, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here just getting things set up. And I don't know where that's going to record to, so I guess we'll find out afterwards. Okay. So, bit of review on the Falcon, Plastic Addicts. We have run a ton of lighting. Some fiber optic lighting, some SMD lighting, some LED lighting. And before I get back into that, I want to get some of these side panels on. So that, because I'm going to need some here. That's going to be fiber optic lighting. And I'd rather kind of do that in one shot. Oh, that might be high. We'll have to deal with that. And yeah, got a couple of things here. And I've tried to mix this up a little bit so there's a bit more viewing space for both. I found this one was a little condensed, so I opened up and shrunk this one down, while still maintaining full visual. Okay, what do I want here? You know what? let's start with, you know what, let's go right to escape pods. At least that's what it says they are. And don't have to do any cleanup, so you got these indent pieces. That will go, you know, something like that. Definitely not like that. Now just look at our numbers, because we've got 18, 18, 18, and 18. Okay. Well, it says they're all the same. And if we look at the instructions, let me just bring this out here. Yep, 18, 18. We'll see how the fit is. I'm a little worried it's not great. Oh yeah, it's not too bad in there. So let's go ahead and we'll do one side first. This is pretty clean, doesn't look like there's any flash to come off. We've got that there. And here's my question. Does it butt right against there? Alright. Get a little glue in there. See how that looks. Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. And it doesn't talk about the order of operations. There's a little bit of flash we want to get rid of. Anyway, so yeah, I want to get these sides on just so there's some progress on assembly, but I need the sides on so I can put the lower cockpit assembly in, because I guess there's a couple lights down there that need to go in. And we'll go just like that. And the fit is not great. Okay. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little change here. We're going to bring it the thicker cement as well. Just to get a bit more working time on this Falcon. And I think, like I said last week, this is all the boring stuff that I cut out of my long form videos. And I should have done this too, because we want to prep both surfaces just to get good adhesion. And we'll go ahead and do the other side too. Okay. We can let that settle. Now we can come back to the inserts, so we can see if we can get a good fit. Although I'm wondering if I should put this in first and do those last. This is a fairly substantial part, which are going to take some fighting to deal with, because these guys, the mandibles, are bent upwards. Let's do something here. See how my rate is going. Okay. That's okay. And yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, got a little bit of flash to do, but I think, yeah, it looks like that's actually a seam edge that's going to go against there. I think it's been a long time since I put one of these together. I've never actually done the the Cutaway Falcon before, but I did do just a standard Millennium Falcon one time in the past, when they were still somewhat available in the 90s. I'm going to date myself a little bit. And yeah, I'll have to kind of take a bit of a staggered approach to this. Like I said, because there's so much warp in these mandibles, so we're going to kind of focus on getting this as good as we can get it. And I think we might do the crazy glue trick as well, just to get this to hold on while doing this install, because I said this is going to be a lot of work to get that in. And you know what, maybe we'll go the other way first. Okay, and we'll do a little bit of CA here to get this to hold. I should be able to do the same along these, which I'm not doing a very good job of showing. Along these markers here. Well, markers is the wrong word, but come on. Mounting plates, mounting stops. Well, mounting stops probably makes sense. There. Get some more in there. And use some kicker to get that to stay, or bonded faster, I should say. Whoops. That goes there. So I've already applied regular model glue along here. So I'm just going to use this as a little booster, we'll call it. Because, you know, this thing may have been sitting in its box for 20 years before it got to me. And yeah, that guy should go right there. Okay. Now that that part has been done, and is kind of being held in place, let's apply actual glue. To where it needs to go, and see how the adhesion is. Yeah, there we go. And sorry, I'm not doing a very good play-by-play today. Get some of that excess off of there. So what I've been doing, I haven't been using the crazy glue to attach the whole thing. This is designed to hold areas in place so the regular glue can do what it's supposed to. As I said, sometimes the fit isn't great, and this is a particular example of how not great it is. And I'm going to see if I can turn this a little bit just to pick me up a little bit more while I'm still looking away, because I've kind of got to ease over this way to do what I want to do, but I have turned the gains up, so hopefully the audio is decent. Hopefully my picture is okay. Alright. That's there. And that's there. So yeah, things are looking okay. And I just want to jump ahead a quick second because there is cockpit sits under there. I was a little curious about cockpit placement because I said it's meant to go. Looks like it fits right there. But when you look underneath, there's this little concave area, so I'm not sure if anything is supposed to go there or that's a remnant from something else. Now, other builders who've done this before in the past might have some insight into that. But for now, let me get this. Get the regular glue in here. But yeah, look at how much warpage there is in that. So that's why we did that. And these mandible covers, looks like they go like so. And we have these two pieces as well, which go like so. That doesn't seem right. These old MPC instructions aren't particularly good. I feel like it's supposed to bump up against here, here, and here, like so. But let's see how things fit, because this would go here. And then this here. You know, all these chamfered edges make it, it's like, okay, does this go here? Does this go here? But we know with this, there's no overhang, so this is meant to go along there. So maybe we'll do that first. Oh! Okay, I wasn't expecting Matt's Model Shop to hop on, but he's already done this. I've referenced it more than once. So the cockpit goes whatever. Well, the wires aren't going to be cleaned up until I'm closer to getting all the lighting in. There's still lighting to go in. I can't put this on yet. There's lighting to go in here. There's two forward lights down here. I need to run the rest of my fiber optics, so this all gets cleaned up once. Now, right now, some of this is a mess because I haven't finished it. So there's a bunch of wiring to go in first, so this can't go in yet. So I've got to do two SMDs in here. But I wanted to get some of this supported. How is your fit, if you're still there? How is your fit in here? Because this is looking a little... Well, this thing's going to be packed with lights for sure. I'm not going to do the cockpit. I will be doing fiber optic. You know, any lighting in here. You know, lighted fiber optic lighting on the control panel. Maybe something in around there. But this will all be painted like you did, by and large. And, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. But as you can see, this one is massively warped. But yeah, so this has to wait. So really it's just the sidewalls I'm working on right now. And that was to give the impression of progress. And yeah, this is where I'm kind of running into trouble. Does it sit against that? Well, actually, that was a pretty good fit. Oh yeah, look at the, like I just showed. I mean, look at that difference between sidewall and no sidewall. Fucking wild, right? Now I'm getting sick of this thing popping off on me, so just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of this. And that just to hold it while the regular glue sets. So yeah, the question I had was about these little inserts by the escape pods and how they fit. And it looked like this was pretty good here. And just kind of against that one. So it's set against it here, and yeah, there should be a little lip that comes down into that area. But yeah, these old MPC, I mean, not all of them. Like the B-Wing went together beautifully. No issues, no problems. A little bit of warp in the main body, but, you know, I wouldn't have expected them to put a lot of care into pulling that out of the mold. And if anyone else is online, don't be afraid to jump in and say hello. But yeah, it's actually taken a lot longer to get to this point than I thought it would. Very nice, Matthew. Okay, and that's what we're going to do there. Let's see what we can do about fit. Get a little something to hold it. Not the only source of building it up, but it's when you're fighting warpage, at some point, you know. Like I said, there's a bit of fighting, but it's not too bad. So I can get the rest of this in here. That on there. And then the model cement can do its thing in the background while moving on. But yeah, this is a this fit is terrible. This fit is absolutely terrible. Matt, if you're still there. So this guy here, it butts up against the little pegs here, correct? And then leaves this big old gap. Does that sound right? And then, okay. So yeah. Like so. And this had the outward cover. Yeah, that looks like the way it's supposed to go. And look at the instructions again. Yeah, the raised bump here goes to the outside edge. Okay, well that seems terrible. Like, not very well thought out at all. And yeah, I'll get some more glue on here. Oops. Okay. Just going to kind of let that sit there for the moment. I'll get this guy ready too. Okay, here we go. Get this in, get this in. Oops. So I want to get that there. Okay. I feel like that's backwards. Like, I feel like the bigger side should be in here to cover this. Like, that makes more sense to me than what's shown here. Because, yeah, this shows bump facing outward. But then it reveals this inner edge. So I think I'm going to not follow the instructions there. Because I don't believe them. But. Jesus, that is something. Come on. Oh yeah, it's so yeah, right or wrong, I am deviating from the instructions. Because yeah, it just feels like a better. Yeah, it doesn't make sense otherwise here to have the studio model aside. On this model, it doesn't make sense to have that pointed out, although it does create this situation where this guy's not actually, touching that. Oh well. I'm sure it's fine. Get some more glue in there to see if we can get a... But I said there's also this awful gap that it's going to need... need filling. Well, that seems to be a little bit better. Yeah, this thing is not well manufactured at all. So I'm curious when I do my new one, the new issue with the revised side panels, how that's going to turn out. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's on there. Okay. So I think it's time to move on to a couple other things. There's going to be fiber optic lighting, but I want to get these two SMDs in here first so I can put this cap on. See, this is what I look at. I love the SMDs, but this is what I hate. The pre-wired pre-resistor is great, but it makes for a mess of wiring, and I'm curious, and I may have to do a test. How many LEDs can one resistor run? Like, give me a second. I'm using my phone as this camera here, so I might have to view that after the fact. Hold on. See if I can sign in. Oh, add a star and see if that makes a difference. Piss off. Okay, I'll try this one more time. I hate when Apple won't let me sign into my own thing. So, okay. Yeah, I won't be able to view that picture till after I'm done. Okay, anyway, let's kind of slide some of this aside for now. And Jude here. Get Jude here. And get my little nest of old SMDs out. Come on. These are ones I've rescued. So it's a bit messy. So get some of these out. Come on, you can do it. God, I hate the way... I really love and hate SMDs at the same time. 2. Okay. I've had some of these for many years. Alright, we got that. And, oh, okay, no, that is on. Good. And I'm going to need this. That guy, got that guy. Got this. Come here. Okay, and double check my drawing over here. Yep, 1, 2. And the outer parts of the mandible. And we're going to give ourselves some room here. Right there. And right there. This is the wrong one. I'm not doing fiber optics here, I'm doing the SMD, so I need a 1mm. So I used 1mm for the bulk of the underside, 1.5 or 2mm for these bigger ones, and then of course our fiber optics for the red lights. So we'll grab this guy, swap it out, and save this 0.75 for a little bit here. There we go, that's better. There we go. And if you're wondering, I will be filling all these with UV resin and making masks to cover them before doing the actual painting. And I'm trying something here. See, there's no light blocking in here. I may actually end up doing... The plan is to do this and then blast it with light blocking. And kind of cover everything in one shot. And we'll see how... Excuse me, we'll see how that turns out. Maybe okay, maybe not. Who knows? But we'll be sure to find out. Excuse me. We'll find out pretty soon, that's for sure. Oops. So the SMDs I have been gluing in with hot glue, which I should probably turn on as well. The LEDs I've been using crazy glue on, but not ones related to the fiber optics because it will destroy them. Yeah, did you say you only did the cockpit on yours, or did you do the, excuse me, the interior, that big console computer in the I don't know, the lounge? Whatever that area is called. So we'll let that heat up a little bit. That's, you see it a bit better from the top because I got my hand in the way doing this. But let's go with this gun heat up a little bit. I've actually got to change this one too. This one burned out on me. So we'll do that one. So I'm going to knock these two out. And then I can actually do the rest of the fiber optics because I needed these in to do it. I may not be able to do the cockpit today because the instructions show this as going in as a whole assembly with the such and such. Maybe not. But this is a lot of lighting and a lot of wiring in here to make this happen. And it's actually taking a bit much longer. Much longer than I thought it would to do a number of these things. I kind of overestimated my speed, but there's a lot of steps. A lot of steps to do this. And oops. What do we got there? Are you working yet? Oh yeah, there we go. This is going to be harder than the previous one since I have to do it kind of on an angle. Okay, so no, okay. This might not work this way. I may have to crazy glue these ones, or at least get them set that way. Okay. As happens sometimes, this is not working as planned. Alright. I'm going to try that one more time. I'll just hold that there a little bit longer this time. Let's see if that did the trick. I think it did. And you know what? Let's just jump ahead. Let's see how we did, shall we? Okay. Okay, that seemed to work. You can't really see the focus of it because with it light blocking it's overblown, but you get the idea. Then go ahead and do the other one. And then I want to do this so that it's locked down. And don't put any strain on the leads on the LED. Alright. I think we're good there. Go ahead and do the same, get that locked down. And then we have two more lights up front. So I think I can actually go ahead and look at closing that. Oh, excuse me. Hey, let's get this guy in, get this closed up. Okay. And those guys are locked in there now. Oh, let me get that stretch. So that was the last of the yellow landing lights, white landing lights. So all that's left now is the reds I hadn't completed. And a couple of those are on the lower docking rings. So, we can go ahead. Yeah. Change out bits on here. Put you back there. Okay, so let's look at what do we got here. Okay, so the good news is I had actually drilled out spots already. Just kind of give them a little So for this side, there is 4 and 2, and then we're going to have some on either side. And we get a marker out here. And we'll do here and here. Alright. And I think I need to extend that a little bit. So on this one, if I want to have the landing, landing runner down, gangway, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to have to route these that kind of hides them a little bit, so that'll be fun. Okay, there's one side. PJC 2.0. This is Dremel 3000 with a couple of additions. Trigger grip, because I just find it more comfortable to work with, and the chuck. Instead of using the collets, this is a whole lot easier to work with. You're not constantly changing end pieces. I did used to have the Dremel. Oh my god, what the hell was it called? I loved it. It was just built in as it was just a little gun. You can control the speed from a dial on the rear. I cannot remember what it was called now because it's discontinued. Guess it wasn't that popular. 2 layers of plastic to go through there. And because I'm running at high speed, I got plastic on the bit. It's the same for me for airbrush. I use the pistol grip airbrushes. So I don't have the dexterity to hold it and control the... Come on. Control the dual function of air and paint, so I just control with... The pistol grip gives me control over volume, and I can just control the air pressure from the... excuse me. From the compressor. Okay. There we are. That's done. Hopefully. Hopefully we're done with that. Now, try and put these guys away too, for now. And give me a second there. I'll test something. Make sure that's still working. Yeah. And excuse me, check that there. Okay, yeah, just making sure everything is still chugging away. I'm constantly worried about tech failures. It took forever to get a audio setup that is loud enough that works with, because I constantly need to turn my head away or down from the microphone. So I need to find a setup that was, 1, clear, and 2, would allow for enough volume input, clean input, despite the many background noises I have to deal with. So I think we might be finally over that hurdle. So I need, how many strands? 4, 6, 8, 10. Well, we'll start with 4 and do the back as one, we'll call it 1 circuit. Because we're at 2 o'clock now, and I try to keep these things to about an hour and a half, just for consumability. Viewers can decide, you know, as I keep doing this, whether I should go longer or not. But I did choose Sundays at 1 based on YouTube data. There's a ton of analytics you can use for any number of things. And one is deciding when to post. And it kind of came down to a split between, you know, Wednesdays and Sunday afternoons. So the first Wednesday of every month, my long-form video goes live. And I have to keep Sunday afternoons for live streams because it's an alright time. It works for me. I'm not usually doing a whole lot on Sundays. There are times this is going to be a conflict, and we'll deal with it then. Okay, let's get these through here, and I might have to re-drill these to slightly larger. This is 0.75. Oh, there we go. And I was sure I used a 0.8 bit, because these are, it's still tight as is. There we go. And I want a fairly tight fit. That way they're not going to move when I don't want them to, and I don't have to worry about, excuse me, how they're secured. Like, I'm still going to use some glue inside to hold them in place, but if the point where they go through the hull is tight enough, though, they're not going to move. Come on. All right, we'll give that one a little bit of a ream. Okay. See if you go in now. There we go. Okay. Right. And I think I'm going to use right here. Whoops, sorry. Didn't realize I lost that camera temporarily. Just wait for this to kick back in. I may have to reset this. Give me a second here. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, unless I was worried about tech. And I think what happened is my OBS cam has the app crashed. So now there we go. There we go. Oop. Okay, maybe not. Properties. There we go. Okay. That's back. Let me just kind of redo my settings here. Okay. There we are. We're back in business. Hey, what I was saying is that I'm going to use here as the home for the red LED and call it color, whatever, excuse me, to put that in. There we go. Just had to get a couple of things out. All right. Come on. So, might help I had to have that on high this whole time. And give me a second to find my styrene tube that I need for this. That seems to be MIA. So that's a little irritating. Well, I guess we'll find another one. Nope, that is too big. That is not the right size. Well, that is not ideal. Ah, here we go. All right. Oh, my friend, I have already done the... Oh, okay, couple things. Yes, rear landing lights. So, there's lights inside the pod here. Holy shoot. Okay, let me back up. Landing lights. So I found, actually Rose Models found for me, a diagram of A New Hope landing lights. Now, it's a bit subjective because there may not have been any. So let me flip this over. So there's nothing along the back here. I got lights in here. Lights here, here. There'll be red here to the fiber optics. So we got those guys. Because this is that New Hope with the tricycle landing gear. Not the 5 legs. And because I've packed enough lighting in there already, I'll have to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. And we'll get this tinned as well. Don't need a lot because my leads are pretty short once I'm in. Okay. Alright, so trim that back, trim that back, see if I can get rid of this blob. Good enough. Alright. Yeah, what am I trying to say? The MPC AMT version is New Hope with the tricycle landing gear, not the additional 2 landing gears as seen in the rest of them. But it's actually the cutaway I'm doing, so I mean the primary, a lot of this you're not even going to see because the intent is for this to be in a landed position. So you can take the top off and look inside. So how am I going to get power to the model? Well, for that, I am going to either design or have designed for me some sort of equipment, ground equipment, that would that'll basically serve as the junction box. So from there, so basically I'll have some, call it model cables, run from the model to the boxes, and then the wall jack will plug into the this control ground support umbilical unit, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the truth is, it probably won't be plugged in that frequently anyway. I tend to very rarely turn the lights on after I've finished a model. They tend to just be up on the shelf. But odds are, I will probably, when I'm done this, I'll either give it away or I might start doing like charity raffles. And that is okay. This model's done, and I don't have the room for it. Sorry. For me, I tend to enjoy the building versus the having. So yeah, I might actually look at charity auctions as an option. We'll see though. I haven't really decided what's what yet. But it is at 172. It's fairly large. If I don't do charity, I've set up channel memberships, and I've had a Patreon before, but I kind of canceled it just because before I didn't have the time to do all the maintenance for people who, put money into it. There we go. That LED works. So I may also do that and just do a raffle. Like, okay, channel members or Patreons or whatever. This model's built. Put your name in, and you pay the shipping. And whoever wins the raffle, it's theirs. And that might be another way to go too. No base for this one. Once again, the size has a lot to do with that. But I do have, he hasn't listed them yet, I do have from Jerry at HDA for the small 144 scale a base that he's kind of testing out. I'm a little bit behind schedule, and I have not had a chance to add the lighting and whatnot, because it's an FDM print, so there's a lot of sanding to do to clean it up. But we were kind of talking about bases and whatnot, and they're always on the ground, and maybe we should look at wall bases that mount. So you'll have a flat, we'll call it flat landing pad with an upright side, kind of like Cloud City. You can mount that to the wall, and then you can put your ships on it, integrated lighting and all that stuff. But as I said, I'm a bit behind schedule, and I need to get back on that. Okay, so this, I'm just getting it. I said this last week when I was doing this. I like using hot glue, low temperature hot glue, because if you ever need to take anything apart, it's a little easier to work with than a resin or a crazy glue. Now in this case you don't want to use crazy glue anyway, because it will destroy, it'll destroy fiber optics. Someone told me that early on, and I never tested it until one day I accidentally got crazy glue on a fiber optic, and it does not take long for it to degrade it to the point where it just breaks. Alright, let me get these in here, and I'm going to leave a little bit exposed because I will be doing painting on this, and then I can just trim them to length when done. Okay, and then this one we'll pull through. Let's get these shorter than the legs so I can set this down. There's one more thing I need to do. Because I trimmed these. Is just gonna give these a wet sand with a high grit paper just to make sure we get the best light transference possible. And if your fingers are wetted, it actually kicks off this hot glue faster and doesn't burn your fingers. Sean Sherrod? Hope I said that correctly. I like working with fiber optics because of what I wanted to accomplish on this. I've used multiple types. So I got regular LEDs in the landing gear recesses, SMDs around the edge, which I've drilled. So I've got 1 millimeter for these guys. And I apologize, I used an LED over here for the 2 millimeter beside the landing ramp. And then fiber optics for we'll call them warning lights, the red warning lights. Once again, we're taking some liberties with this because there may or may not have been lights in certain places on the New Hope Falcon. But I wanted to go with this because it gives me a bit more control over the light. So I've got, really bright, and then step down, because this is only 0.75 millimeter. So although the although the end glows very brightly, relative to the other lights, you'll have differences in intensity. And that's kind of what I wanted for the few times you'll be able to see underneath this ship. Okay, yeah, PJC. So you've done the Bandai. Yeah, the Bandai one. That thing goes together so well. Actually, give me a second. So, when you're asking about a base, I'm just going to move this aside for now. This is kind of the prototype. The intent is for there's little covers that I don't have within reach right now. So you can do LED lights to shine however you want. This being the prototype, this is meant for a shelf or whatnot. But we had discussed putting in like a wall or door or whatnot here, so you can mount it to the wall, and then this would, you could have this up at eye level, and you, of course, you'd have your room light from the top, and then the LEDs or SMDs in here throwing light on the underside. And yeah, like you can, get back in there, Yeah, so, this is the 5 landing gear as opposed to the tricycle landing gear on the MPC 172. Anyway, I need to get this done and, out into the world. But I think Jerry's been super, super busy over at HDA, so I don't think he's even listed the other ones I've done for him. Anyway, so this is particularly good because you can use this with the 144 Falcon or like even the 172 Star Wars kits, because it's got a good size without being overwhelming. So this I'm kind of into. So at some point I'll have it up either as a video or a short. Okay, I'll bring this guy back. So I'm going to just hot glue this guy right in here. And then I'm going to do something with these strands. Because the good news is I can actually pull them down and then trim them. And once again, hot glue because it's fast and easy. Cheap. I mean, you can get the gun at the dollar. Oh yeah, it's a great base, and like I said, I need to get it. I need to get my side done, so just to put out to the world, like, hey, this thing exists. Check this shit out, and then leave it to Jerry to decide what he's going to do as far as marketing or getting it out. But like I said, I think he's been absolutely slammed since before Christmas. So getting new products out is going a bit slower than he may have initially anticipated. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with the fibers is a little bit of this. So I'm going to pull them through and then trim them. And that way they are essentially roted. Come on, you. Oh yeah, this one was really tight. There we go. So we get that going. That goes down there. And then this will kind of see if we can kind of keep it around there. And pull that down and pull that down. Okay. And then we'll trim these back a bit, not to their final length, but just to give ourselves some room here. And then let's throw some light on it. Oh, negative. That on there. Oops. There's that. And here we go. Come on. And there we go. This one doesn't pick up the red quite as well. It's a bit desaturated. Working with two different types of cameras, trying to keep them balanced. So that's where we're at. This is certainly not as far as I'd hoped to get, but I keep overestimating how much I can get done in an hour and a half session. So I think this week I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. I'll do a short to go with it. Get these sides on so that that means next week then we can actually get into some other section that's not just looking at the bottom of the Falcon again for 4 weeks in a row. But we're getting there because there's a lot of stuff to put in, especially if you're kind of narrating the process. Excuse me, narrating the process. But it's good progress. There's really not much. Sorry. So we take a little drink here. And then remind my brain, hiccups don't exist. And then they go away. Okay. So, the idea is that next week I can actually get into some painting and detailing. Possibly. I don't want to say so for sure. But like I said, it's as you can see from the top, just how much is jammed in here. And then there's still more to go once you put the interior in. So we're getting there. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to make any promises of what next week is going to be yet. But I'm happy with It's slower than I'd hoped, but I'm still happy with the progress because, as I said, I may have overestimated what is doable. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I hope whomever stuck around enjoyed the video, or whoever ducked in enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm still kind of getting my legs wet, get my feet wet, whatnot, with streaming to try to find the best presentation. And it always takes a little while to get started at the beginning, because not like I'm not used to narrating the process, but when editing a video, I have control over each individual section versus a running commentary. But thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed what I did. Maybe picked up a thing or two. And thank you, Matthew. Oh, yeah, sorry. Thank you, Sean, as well. So the same thing. I got to learn to keep an eye on the chat as well. Because I'm actually running on two systems. I'm running on Twitch and YouTube, so I've actually got two chats to look at. Although my viewership on YouTube is much higher than on Twitch. Anyway, thank you all for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe picked up a thing or two. And, you know, keep on building. Enjoy the process. And hope to see you all again next week. And then we can do